Before you watch this video, there are two things you need to know. Number one, these videos were recorded in advance just to ensure that they all got edited and uploaded on time. So, any changes made in the couple weeks before the season starts, those will be addressed in the first episode of WNBA Weekly. And the most important thing you need to know about this video is that I am not a member of the press. I am not in any way associated with the WNBA or any of their sponsors or affiliates. I'm just a guy who loves watching the sport and decided to make some videos where I give my opinions on the things that I see. Greetings and welcome to the Fan Perspective. I'm your host Nathan Nile, and this is the 2018 WNBA preseason power rankings. For those who don't know, preseason power rankings are where I look at the moves that a team has made during the offseason and try to predict where I think they will finish at the end of the regular season. I decided to film this early in the morning because lately my neighbor has been playing his music way too damn loud, shaking my fucking walls, and yet so far today, I've had 3 trains and birds chirping outside my door, and they've all been surprisingly loud. There's been a lot of ambient noise that I'm dealing with here, and it's distracting. Number 9, I have selected the New York Liberty. Please don't come to my house and kill me. I understand that there's a very good chance I will get a lot of hatred for this. Why? Well, the New York Liberty have been a dominant team. They have been the beast of the East. For the past 3 years in a row, they've gotten 20 wins and ended up having an early playoff exit. And they basically returned the exact same roster that they had last year, including Tina Charles, a potential MVP candidate. Every year, basically, she's been a double-double machine. And last year, recent years actually, I think the past 2 or 3 years, she's been like the team's leader in assists. I mean, basically, I think the 3 best players in this league are Candace Parker, Maya Moore, Tina Charles. So how can I ever dare to say that the New York Liberty will not be in the playoffs? First of all, I've been wrong about this plenty of times before. In fact, every year I get at least 2 or 3 of these things wrong. There's always at least one team that I put in the lottery that ends up in the playoffs, and vice versa. But the main reason I put them this low is the same reason why I put 7 and 8 at 7 and 8 when I get to those videos. Coaching. Laimbeer is a very well-respected head coach. He has a ton of experience in this league. And Katie Smith, as much as I respect her as a player, as a head coach, she has 0 experience at all. And you can't underestimate the value of good leadership. So that's half of it, just that Katie Smith, yeah, she's a Hall of Famer. She's probably got a brilliant mind. But it's a lot different when you're actually the one calling the shots. I have too many questions about her. Also, I don't know if you've noticed, but this team has basically returned the exact same roster from last year. And the majority of teams above them, the reason why they are above them is because they've gotten better. That's the one thing I'll say about New York that I can't really say about any of the other teams. That they've made very few changes at all. So I can see every other team in the league actively trying to get better, while New York seems to be mostly staying the course, and in fact, as I said, losing their leader, they take a step back. That being said, I cannot say for sure that I actually expect them to miss the playoffs. They're a good enough team that they can not only get into the playoffs, but potentially win a game or 2. I definitely don't think they're going to the finals. I just feel the reason I put New York at number 9 is because I feel like they're good enough. They could be a top 6 team, but they're also in a position to potentially have a disappointing year and end up in the lottery. I'm just unsure which path they will take, so I put them here. The keys to their success 100% will be Tina Charles, MVP candidate. Like I said, one of the best players in this league right now. and she's got a good supporting cast around her. The guards like Epiphany Prince, Bria, Hartley, can they step up and be consistent leaders, consistent playmakers? Will the defense be there? They added Kia Nurse to a lineup that also includes Kia Stokes and Kia Vaughn. Why does this team have every Kia in the league on it? I feel like this team should be sponsored by Kia Motors. That way you can have that half of their roster will have their first name on their jersey. So once again, this team definitely has the talent. I will not be shocked at all to see them in the playoffs. I expect them to have a winning record. It's just that I think this could be, how do I explain this? It's a trap game. You know how you have that team that they're not in the playoffs, they've got nothing to play for, we can take it easy against them. We can go, we don't have to go 100%. This is a game we're supposed to win. And then you end up getting destroyed by these nobody losers that everyone counted out because the only thing they're playing for is pride, but they came so much harder than you. That's what I feel like New York is right now. They're kind of in a trap game. If they rest on their laurels, then they got no shot this season. Because the league is so incredibly competitive this year, and every team is making huge strides, improving by leaps and bounds, while they're basically just staying the course. But now they've got all this turnover, which technically no turnover at all, but technically it's the hugest turnover you possibly could have. You've got a new head coach who's in her very first year ever as the head coach of a WNBA franchise. It's a lot to be asked of. Honestly, this entire season is going to be incredibly competitive. And I feel like there are all going to be a few surprises. Injuries are going to have a huge impact on this season because, there's no way we're going to make it from here to September without at least one or two all-stars going down. That's it for this video. Starting tomorrow, we are now in the playoffs, baby! So tune in for that. And until then, this has been The Fan Perspective. I'm your host, Nathan Lyle. See you tomorrow. Thanks for watching this video. This has honestly been the hardest power rankings I've ever had to do, and I always get 2 or 3 of these wrong anyways every single year. So if you disagree with anything I've said in this video, feel free to leave a comment telling me everything I said wrong and why.